Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Now Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here, because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
How about that? Red man coverage, and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's Kevin Huber now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one is incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, his throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. On play action, Rodgers out to his left. Completed out left to Dobbs. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Dobbs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
Well, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown Bears! Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week, so this is a good... Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case... never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
From the gun, here's Fields. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. And the first play will be a field goal try. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead grows to 4. It's 11-7. So the fumble recovery hadn't set up an ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. And he's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Devondre Campbell, nice play to get in there and drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Higbee complete right side. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
And that is no good. And this will stay a 4-point game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got a man, it's Tunyon. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got a man, that's Lazard. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well, because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Packers have regained the lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On 1st down, it's Fields. He gets this complete to Cephas. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
This defense is definitely reeling a little bit now. Back-to-back big plays given up. And you know that's all defenses talk about. How do you limit that? Instead, they got hit by a 1-2 punch those last couple of plays, and now they've got their backs to the goal line.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year as they have taken the lead. Santos with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he is going to have a Packers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Bears are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And the Packers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now it's Fields. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here. That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead. And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too. To throw is Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that will be incomplete. Now, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now a hit and a loose football. And that's what friends are for. Right. Hey, as the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later. Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot. They'll start out. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it. Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Following the fumble recovery, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. On third down, they go Montgomery. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down. The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal. Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment. Up to midfield. 30. 10. 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On first down, Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Third and long. It's Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Chicago. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Rodgers now to throw. He finds Watson complete. And some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on third and medium to pick up the first.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, second and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And now here is another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bearsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. From the 50, here's Fields. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. Fields now to throw. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Preston Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
He's going deep for Brown. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Chicago! John Brown, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bears have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just saw receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 21. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. He finds Watson. It's caught. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So right back to square one. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away. On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. Brought down at the 20. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Dillon. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. A line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Throwing is Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Robert Tonyan, a 5-yard touchdown as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the 4th. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Here's Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Preston Smith in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
To throw is Rodgers. This is caught. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down. And after that, the air just went right out of the balloon. And you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Off play action, Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
He'll complete this one to Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Packers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Chicago, you start to wonder if it's going to happen this year. The skid has hit 13 in a row on the season. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's, dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrive. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know a way around the storm, making hits with him, boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused, boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, but